running around making guarantees. So he out here guaranteeing W's, man. So again, from a random conversation that started on R2L, that's carried over into the chats, that now led to this question here. And we all tell you this is why you need to be a part of the chats because it helps breed the show. We keep going with these things. We come up with our own topics at times. You understand? Now the question is, can the Warriors win the championship? The Warriors were 28 and 27 when Draymond made the statement that the Warriors will win the finals this year. The Golden State Warriors are now 32 and 27. They're third in the Pacific, basically third in their division, seventh in the Western Conference. 7-1 record after the trade with Jimmy Butler. Everything is improved. I read this, Carl, and I was like, can the Warriors actually win the championship? That's what they were asking. And I was like, this year or just in general? Because I think they can win one just in general, but I don't think they're going to win one this year. Now, granted, a lot of stats have improved once Jimmy Butler has gotten there. Of course, you already know what Jimmy Butler brings to the team. But for me, I'm looking at the landscape of the NBA and also just them in the West. Looking at it where I got it at right here. So the Warriors right now, their record against Western Conference teams, what is it? Before Jimmy, they got OKC, they 2-1 versus Memphis, they 3-1 versus Houston, they 3-1. But Minnesota, they're like 0-1. The Lakers, and we already see what the Lakers just did and how hot they are. They having a run right now. They're 0-3 against them, and they 0-3 against the Clippers.
But
And
I think
that
the
is
Lakers, they didn't have Jimmy Butler though.
what you mean?
No, they didn't. They never
No, I'm
had
just
Jimmy Butler.
saying. I'm just saying what they were.
I feel you, but it's different.
I see what you're saying, but the Lakers also didn't have Luka.
That's fine.
I'm just saying these two teams, but one team that they're currently behind right now is the Clippers, and that's the team that they 0-3 against. Now, again, Jimmy Butler does make a difference when you see some of these teams. However, it's going to be a long road to that finals, and some of the pieces that the Warriors have right now, I just don't see them winning a championship this year. Can they get there? Possibly, but I just don't see them doing it.
Can the Warriors win a championship? Yes, absolutely. You give Jimmy Butler, a guy who took the Miami Heat, who are 3-6 without him, to the finals twice, pushed the Lakers to what, 6 games, 5, 6 games. Nuggets in. They got one against the Nuggets. I was rooting for Jimmy Hard, but they had no answer for Jokic. But you give him to a team that's coached by Steve Kerr and has a 4-time champion point guard and Steph Curry, who just detonated for 56 last night against the Magic. He went insane, and he has that capability to do that any given night on the floor. Yes, they could win a championship. Tomo, I hear you, right? They're 7th in the West. They're a half a game behind the Clippers. They can pass the Clippers, become a top 6 seed, and right now they would play the Nuggets, which I ain't gonna lie, that is only not favorable because of Jokic. If it wasn't for Jokic, I would favor them against the Nuggets, but they would have to scheme something really, really nice to stop Jokic in that post. But they're 5 games behind the Rockets, 5 games behind the Lakers, 6 games behind the Nuggets, and there's 20-something games left. Now, obviously, that 1 seed is out of reach. OKC is out of there with that.
Yeah, nobody's getting that one.
But seeds 2 through 6 are not out of reach just yet. And if they keep winning the way that they win in 7-1 with Jimmy Butler, the sky's the limit. They can get one of them 2 through 6 seeds, get a favorable matchup, and fight their way to the finals, where they could play a Boston or Cleveland. I'm not going to say the Knicks. I don't believe in the Knicks at all. I'll just say between right now Boston and Cleveland. And they play Boston and Cleveland, I think the Warriors got a shot to take them down. So I do, while I think it still is bold to guarantee a championship, because guaranteeing the championship no matter what is crazy when it's seeing a 72 and 10 team lose the championship. So a guarantee is crazy, but can they do it? Absolutely. They absolutely can.
So that's where it goes back to my debate on the whole Draymond and Dak situation, right? And I'm looking at the Warriors now, and I'm like, can they? Yes, because you're asking, can they? I believe they can. However, I don't. If they were to make the finals and play Cleveland, I think they beat Cleveland. If they were to make the finals and play Boston, That's gonna be a tough one. Because again, this still goes down to like the big man. But I think Golden State has that mental advantage, and that goes.
You think it goes to the bigs if they play Boston?
Porzingis still gonna be there.
Porzingis play around the perimeter too much for me.
I understand what you're saying, but that's still a different. It's a factor there. Now I don't know because Draymond on if Draymond on the court, I don't know. Things get a little shaky when Draymond on the court.
I don't think Porzingis is the issue if they play Boston. I think Boston's perimeter defense and Tatum could pose a threat to the Warriors.
That's why I said the mental advantage part comes into play.
But then you got Jimmy, who's used to playing Boston and has
But that's what I'm
big
saying.
games.
That's why I said it could get. That's why. Hear me out, Carl. I said the mental advantage part because Jimmy adds to that mental advantage over the Celtics. Because what was he doing with Miami when he wasn't there? How did the Celtics get to the finals? Jimmy wasn't playing. You know what I'm saying? Now he's there. You got Steph, and they already played the Warriors in the finals. They lost to him that year, which was kind of funny because I picked the Warriors to win that one. I was like, the Celtics, this is not their time. They're gonna win it at another point. However, that Nuggets one is gonna be the biggest hill to climb, and I'm glad you said it because I'm like, unless they scheme something and Steve Kerr is really in his bag and they find a way to get over that hump, then they free falling at that point. Then again, of course, Laker fans gonna jump in and be like, "Well, we got Luka, and we can see what happens there." But I think it always comes down to the big man with the Warriors. At some point, they're gonna need a big in the paint to actually help them out.
Yeah, that's why LeBron dominates them too, because they really got nothing in the paint for Bron once he gets to the bucket. So that's why I think they're so bad against the Lakers right now. So the Lakers could pose a threat, but you give me Steph and Jimmy in the playoffs, man, it's hard for me to pick against that. And here's another counterpoint. I know I'm talking about the Warriors moving up the standings. The Nuggets also could move up the standings, and then that could make the Warriors not play the Nuggets until a later round.
And that could help them. That could be in their favor too, because the longer the playoffs go, the longer you never know what happens there. But can they? It's possible. Can you guarantee it? No.
Nothing in life is guaranteed, man.
Except death and taxes. Come on now. We here. We here. And podcast P going on a break.
Bruh.
Now this NBA season,